everybody, Neil here from the Four Corners and welcome to a Ninjago 2021 information and thoughts video. In today's video, we'll be talking about the newly revealed Ninjago books and what this has to do with LEGO's master plan for Ninjago. So first things first, these two books should be about Wu and Garmadon before Garmadon turned all evil. Looking at the two titles, it looks like we're not getting anything too groundbreaking or something that's really gonna push the Ninjago story to its max. For now, it feels like completely new worlds and enemies where Wu and Garmadon go fight those bad guys. But I'm pretty sure if this book series does well, then LEGO will want to grasp into the very rich history of Ninjago. Maybe even have a book where Lily went to the Shintaro Mountains and opened the scrolls, learned Spinjitzu Burst, and they also explain the older elders that actually made Spinjitzu Burst, because there's a lot of history that Ninjago hasn't really tapped into yet. All of this sounds really good, and this is a golden opportunity for Ninjago, because if this works, maybe they could even have sets based off of the books. Now that might be a little far-fetched because I don't think the books can do well enough for a actual LEGO set series to be based off of them, but this is just one idea out of many for Ninjago to branch out into many different things. Now the next question is, why isn't this a proper show? Why is it just a book series? I'm pretty sure it would be pretty good as a show. Well, I have two reasons to why that is. One, because a book is a lot less expensive than a proper animated show, and two, if the Ninjago series gets overcomplicated, then that's going to discourage new fans from coming in. Ninjago's relative simplicity is why it's able to go on for so much years, or else it would have ended 5 years ago. A good example of a LEGO theme that died because it got way too complex was LEGO Bionicle. Now I don't know too much about LEGO Bionicle, but I do know enough to see that LEGO Bionicle died because the media was way too complex. You see, LEGO Bionicle wasn't one proper show, so the story started in a comic series and then moved on to a movie, and then maybe some of the story was told through a game, and then some small comic strips in a LEGO magazine. It's all very confusing to think about. So a Bionicle fan who was a fan from the start would have it pretty easy because that person's been following the content from the start. So when LEGO puts out a comic, he reads that comic, and then when LEGO puts out the next Easter egg, he'll see that too. The problem was that as the original fans got older and left Bionicle, there wasn't room for newer fans to come in. Even if a new fan wanted to get into Bionicle, it would be a huge journey. He would have to scrap together every source of media and try to pile them all together to see how the story is going. And because Bionicle's story was so hard to reach, newer fans were discouraged from coming into the theme, and since newer fans didn't come in, Bionicle ended up dying. Now Ninjago on the other hand has a huge advantage because it has a proper show going from seasons 1 through 14 at this point. It's pretty easy for a kid to start watching Ninjago and get caught up pretty quickly. LEGO also makes it easier by posting recap videos, the legacy sets also help a lot, and also keeping the complex concepts like realms and elemental masters to a minimum helps Ninjago's case. Now coming back to the prequel book series, if they did make a show on it, it might confuse newer fans from coming in. It might be a little overwhelming, but LEGO still has to make a prequel because it's a golden opportunity to jump on. And in that dicey scenario, from LEGO's perspective, a book series feels like the best way to get across that awesome story and also not damage the original brand. Now that we've cleared all that up, it's time to talk about LEGO's master plan with Ninjago. If you haven't noticed recently, LEGO's giving some extra attention to Ninjago with their YouTube videos, recapping all the villains, talking about Ninjago as a whole, and recapping all the elemental masters. LEGO seems to have taken a step back and realized how big Ninjago is as an unlicensed theme that they themselves own. So now LEGO's putting in a little extra effort to brand Ninjago and make the Ninjago brand as a whole very dominating. And I do think that this book series is another indication of LEGO's master plan finally being set into action to make Ninjago a big brand. With that final note, that's all for this video talking about how this book series is part of LEGO's master plan and why this book series doesn't have a show. In the end, I'm super happy that this prequel series started because it has so much potential and I can't wait to see what LEGO does with it in the future. Thank you for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.